Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all. After a break in January. Well, we're going to start out this morning and many of you are familiar with, but our breakfast speakers this morning are the RAM leadership team. And many folks here in the community and many of our organizations and local businesses are very supportive of the RAM effort last year, and its success and its need has resulted in the program returning this year. And we're going to hear a little bit about the results and the outcomes and the planning for this upcoming event here in April. So now I'm going to introduce the co-chair and from the RAM leadership team, Christy Vavpedic.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for coming out this morning in this lovely weather that we're having. Appreciate it. I'm excited to be here. I am the co-chair with Dr. Herpen Decato for the RAM Clinic this year. It's a big undertaking, but I have a fantastic team of people that I'm working with who make it easier. So I'm glad that you're all here to hear about the clinic today. Just a few things, and then we're going to watch a short video. We've actually condensed the video down just to kind of give you guys an overview. I wanted to mention there is 8 of each flyer and business cards on your table. Please note that those are 2 different flyers. One is double-sided with English and Spanish. That is a general overview of the clinic, marketing overview. And then there's one for volunteers because we're always in need of additional volunteers. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce my RAM team that is here that will be speaking to you. We have Steve Arselik, we have Dr. Deborah Bailow-Crombie, Tina Shashevsky, Uni Heineking, JP Ducro, Dr. Lori Herpen Decato, pardon me, and I think that's it as far as our leadership team. I hope I didn't miss anybody. So with that being said, again, welcome, thank you. We're very excited. If you have any questions about RAM, the contact information for me specifically is all over. You can't miss it. It's there. But also on the business card, there's an email that's for RAM Ashtabula specific, and I do check that regularly, daily. So any questions, concerns, or additional marketing materials you might need, by every means, please reach out to me, and I would be more than happy to get that to you. So we'll go ahead and watch the video, and then we'll be hearing from the different team members. Thank you.
Johnson that had relocated from Ashtabula to Pahrump, Nevada, which is about an hour outside of Las Vegas. So we met them for dinner, and Heather was so excited about this community project that they had participated in called RAM, and they volunteered themselves. She was general support, and she was so moved by the organization, by all the services they performed for the patients there, that she said, you know, Ashtabula County needs this. I'm thinking about applying for a grant application. If we get it, will you help? John and I are like, we're in, absolutely glad to help. And that's how it all started.
Lori contacted me, it was over a year ago, and she's sent me some information about RAM and a couple links. And I watched the 60 Minutes video, and I was all in.
It was pretty easy.
It really moved me.
It's pretty easy to get excited about.
Yeah.
You know, to see what kinds of things they were doing and the people they were serving.
One of the local studies that was done showed that not only do we have a large percentage of our community living at or below the poverty line, but we have, I think, close to 67% in Ashtabula City and Ashtabula Township that are, barely able to meet their basic needs. They may not be at the poverty line, but they may have to choose on any given month whether they pay their rent or go get medical care, or whether they keep their utilities on or are able to feed, have 3 meals a day.
I think the amount of volunteers that have come out to help support this has just been tremendous. I mean, we had a waiting list. We had to turn volunteers away. The county commissioners were obviously on board. JP Ducro was our lead for that. And it's amazing how they were able to reach out to all these different individuals, organizations, and agencies in the community to help get their support. And I'm just overwhelmed and humbled. I mean, the dental clinic today, we have 60 dental chairs. They're full. I mean, people are getting just services they couldn't otherwise get. Yeah, it's amazing. And people are going to leave here with a free pair of glasses. They're now going to be able to see. Their children are going to be able to excel in school now because they can actually read what they're supposed to be doing. So, yeah, very, very touching.
maybe in a romantic kind of thinking way, maybe the work that we did on somebody's teeth allowed them to go for a job interview to get a job, and it makes a difference in their life. Who knows?
Our goal is to bring RAM back again. We really feel that there's a need in our county. There's a lot of people that do have insurance, but their deductibles are so high that it's financially hard for them to get services. Or they may have medical coverage, but they don't have vision and dental. So where do they go? If they have Medicaid, and we have many recipients of state-funded insurance, we have no clinics available for them as it relates to vision and dental. So we would like to continue to provide these services, and we feel that the community, at least the support so far, has been all positive. Sure, there's a few things we need to work on, but I think that can this small community, which is from a demographic standpoint, we would be considered poverty level here, can we continue to support this type of a project? I'm hopeful that we can.
For me, why get involved with it here? Because it's needed here and it's home.
People are struggling, to make decisions about, do I go to the doctor or do I pay my heating bill? I can't afford my medications. So for me, I think you need to volunteer at home. This is the community where we work and we live, and we have needs here. I mean, I know there's needs elsewhere, but there's so much here that needs to be done. This is just the start. I mean, this is one little trickle, but I know it's going to get bigger.
I guess the best answer to that question is, why would you do it? My answer would be, well, why not? Why not? You gotta take care of your people.
If there is a future humanitarian watching this, what advice would you give them, and what would you tell them?
Wow. So I guess I would say you need to be 100% where you are. Look for opportunities in your own community. They're everywhere. People are hurting. I mean, if you got into healthcare, you want to help people. That's why you do this. So why not start here, where you live, and have an impact on the people here to give them a better quality of life? And I think that we owe that to our community. Start here to relieve that pain and suffering first.
Get involved. Just do something. You see a need, jump in.
There are a lot of people that talk the talk about wanting to give back. But my question to those people is, how much is somebody really willing to be inconvenienced to give back?
I would say that this is certainly a worthwhile effort to bring to your community. There are a lot of different things that you can do in a humanitarian capacity. There are certainly needs all around our country and around the world. But I think it's hard to find something that's as rewarding as helping your friends and your neighbors.
It's just hard to think of words to describe it. It's so powerful. Try it once and never give up.
I just want to say how grateful I am to be part of this. It's amazing.
Good stuff.
Crombie. I'm one of the owners of the Healthy Smile Center here in Ashtabula, and I'm very, very pleased to return as a dental lead for Ashtabula Ram Clinic 2019. Our first clinic last year, as you can see, was a very powerful experience. And for my two partners and I, it was a highlight of our respective careers. To give you an example of what I mean by that, I want to share a quick story with you. First day of clinic, Friday, my third patient at 8:30 in the morning had been in the parking lot since 2:30 a.m. He had slept in his car. He was a Navy veteran who had served in the Korean War, and he had tremendous pain on his upper left side. After I took care of him, he needed a few extractions, and we were wrapping things up. He startled me when he took my hands in his, teared up, and said, "Thank you. I've been putting this off because of the cost. I can't believe you all are doing this for free, truly giving of yourselves. It's what I did for my country. Thank you." I believe this gentleman's response sums up the impact RAM had on this community. People simply couldn't believe they were getting fillings, cleanings, and extractions for free. All they had to do was wait in line. Because this was RAM's first Ohio clinic, many thought it was just a screening, meaning that they would come get examined, we would let them know you have X number of issues and you need to see a dentist. So when word got out that we were doing treatment for free, things picked up very quickly. So why is RAM coming back? Well, the 2018 clinic had over 1,200 patient encounters. We had 948 individual patients, but 1,200 patient encounters, and we delivered free health care to the tune of almost $500,000. And dentistry was about 2/3 of that. We had over 60 dentists, oral surgeons, hygienists delivering free health care to patients from all walks of life. We had people who had fallen on hard times. We had the unemployed, the uninsured. We had the underinsured, and we had small business owners. They all had one thing in common. They're all caught in the crosshairs of our country's healthcare crisis. Just as medical insurance has moved to basically catastrophic coverage with high deductibles and premiums, dental insurance has its own situation. Dental insurance first came around in 1954. It was meant to be an aid for coverage. The annual maximum at that time, $1,000. Well, at that time, $1,000 could basically rebuild a mouth. So here we are 65 years later, the annual maximum hovers around $1,000. Increasing discretionary income gets tapped due to increasing premiums and deductibles for health care and other issues, and across the country, people put their oral health on the back burner. Well, poor oral health results not only in a decreased ability to socialize, but also a decreased ability to work, eat, sleep. It raises the risk of infections. It raises the risk of many health issues, including heart disease, and it raises the increased chance of death. Approximately 40% of Ohioans do not have dental insurance. Ohio dentists provide, on average, over $40 million a year in free dentistry to the underserved. Our healthcare crisis has tentacles that have reached out and have touched people from all walks of life. Those are the reasons why I am glad RAM is returning to Ashtabula. So what did we learn from last year's clinic? Well, first and foremost, the appreciation and gratitude of the patients was overwhelming at times. Their stories were all over the map, but the common thread that they all had, they showed the utmost respect and gratitude towards us and towards the services they were receiving. I also learned how much everybody appreciated music. To be frank, dentistry and gastroenterologists, we're really in the same boat. We work on opposite ends of the same tube, and nobody really wants to see you. So you put dentistry, and then you say it's going to be a free clinic, and it can be a little bit of an intimidating entity. So we were quite pleased when we approached RAM about bringing a sound system. We really rocked it out, and it was received very well. It was quite something to see a patient with a mouthful of gauze grooving to the music while they were getting checked out. I also learned firsthand and saw it, how committed RAM is to their cause. They are an international organization. They've been around since the mid-'80s, and they've just held their 1,000th clinic. This was our first clinic, and understandably, you're going to have a couple hiccups. It's no big deal. RAM made a point to ask for feedback. They listened, and they implemented. It's no wonder they are such a success. So how I hope to see the RAM project grow in Ashtabula? On the dental end of things, my goal for Ashtabula RAM is to be a special experience not only for the patients, but for the providers. What do I mean? This year, ATEC Horticultural Department has been tapped to design a green space and freshen up the clinic. They were very happy to be asked, and coincidentally yesterday the board just passed that. Greening up the former department stores is going to be in Dillard's again. I believe puts positive energy into the space. It makes the clinic feel friendlier, not only for the patients, but for the providers. Music will continue to be a staple, maybe a little left to center for a free clinic, but it works, and it just makes everything more approachable. Last year, we had a staff member walking around with a portable massager because they're long days, and it can be quite physically taxing bending over patients all day doing dentistry. Well, she was regarded as an angel, so I'm taking that idea and running with it. This year I'll be looking for 3 to 4 very outgoing volunteers with a great sense of humor, and they're going to be walking around with portable massagers, and we're going to really be taking care of our providers, really doing something different. My recruitment letters include a section for what to do after your day in the clinic. This promotes our community, and it's been very well received. Ohio State and Case, as a matter of fact, made a point to mention this in their correspondence. My letter says, after your day of giving back, come discover our beautiful community. Come discover our historic Ashtabula Harbor, which just run Maiden Street, USA for 2018, and I include the link. Come discover any of a number of our award-winning wineries, and I include the link. Cozy Bed and Breakfast, the Lodge, Greenway Trail. I have all these links there. I am so pleased how well this has been received. Ohio State and Case specifically said, many of us haven't been up to your neck of the woods, and we're looking forward to discovering it. So, on the dental end, if I can create an energy where this can be a weekend destination of giving back, and they can take time to enjoy the area, everyone wins. People get into healthcare because they have a calling to take care of others. I truly believe last year's RAM clinic exemplified this in its truest form. I am so proud of this leadership team, and I am so honored to be a part of this. These people are amazing. They changed legislation at the state level for free clinics throughout Ohio, working with Representative Patterson. This is all homegrown. They offered suggestions to RAM, which they continue to use at subsequent clinics to this day. And with the support of the community and almost 1,000 volunteers, we pulled off Ohio's first RAM clinic successfully, and we took care of our own. Never underestimate the power of small-town America. Thank you.
Oh, good morning, everybody. My name is Steve Arslick. I'm an associate pastor of Outreach and Adult Ministries at Eagleville Bible Church, and my role within RAM is fundraising. And so I'm the guy nobody wants to talk to. No, I'm just kidding. But no, we had a lot of great support, and I think one of the things we looked at last year was not knowing what was going on. We had some really lowball numbers out there, to be honest with you, and what we thought we were going to do. And you think about paying for women's services and the lab work and lodging and all these types of things. It took a great effort by the community. A lot of donors came through, and last year we raised almost $39,000 to help fund this clinic. This year our budget, and one of the things I think is by the testimonies of what Dr. Baylor Crombie just mentioned was, and some of the great stories and this word of mouth. How many of you were actually at the clinic last year? Any of you have a chance to get there, help out, volunteer? Did you see it? Did you see this operation work? Because I think one of the things that's going to be great this year, and I think we as a leadership team really anticipate, is that the unknown. RAM being the first clinic in the state of Ohio, it was an unknown. And now it knows. We know. The community knows. Word of mouth will be spreading. So we anticipate where, before they start giving out numbers at 3 o'clock in the morning to provide services at 6, we anticipate much larger crowds. When they realize that these services are available to them, the quality of care that is there for those who are uninsured, underinsured, or just simply can't afford it. Think about being able to come there, get an eye exam, and wait while a free pair of glasses is made for you. How expensive are your eyeglasses? And it's not a critique of the industry or the profession. It's a reality, right? And that person walks out of there with a free pair of glasses that day. Free dental care, unbelievable. The women's health issues, great stuff. So we anticipate these costs to be much higher, and our budget this year is upwards around $46,000 plus. And so we are actively trying to raise funds right now. We've been reaching out to not only some corporate individuals in the area, but also individuals, those who supported us last year, coming and speaking to groups like you. So thank you for having us. You're obviously community-minded and leaders in your own rights, wherever your profession or whatever your sphere of influence. And so I encourage you to take these flyers with you, post them around the community. If you have anything, we have ramashtabula@gmail.com. Christy can get with me. We have forms I can email you. There's certain levels we do for fundraising. Anybody that donates $1,000 or more, we will put your name in larger font onto one of our T-shirts. It gets shared around the community for a gift of at least $500. We'll put your name on a shirt as well, but probably in a smaller font. And there's lots of ways to help out. In-kind donations, financially. We anticipate I think it would be short-sighted of us, and last year we didn't have that vision, let's just get 2018 out of the way. I think our vision has always been, and I think about this from a fundraising standpoint, is sustainability. 2019 shouldn't be the last clinic, agreed? I mean, we got to be looking at this towards long-term. What's the future? How can we sustain this? It isn't meeting just a need today. How can we move forward and continue to meet this need? Because we know it's going to be there. And so we ask for your help. And if you'd like to help out with that, there's opportunities. You can come see me. Asheville Civic Development Corporation has been gracious in being our bank, if you will. And so if you want to send a donation through there, just put RAM Ashtabula in the memo line, and that'll be directed towards us as well. Or if you have any questions, again, ramashtabula@gmail.com, and Christy will make sure we get a hold of that. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have, other ways you can help out, or anything along those lines. Right now, our fundraising for the year, we're at about 25% of goal. We've got a little over $11,000, close to $12,000 raised of the $46,000 we're looking for this year. And so anything you can do to help will be greatly appreciated. You know the impact that it will have. The testimonies, as Dr. Baylor Crombie has shared, and I know there's many others. And I encourage you, if you have any more questions about RAM, is not only the video that we have here, but check out their site at ramusa.org. There's lots of great testimonies out there as well, too, and you get more of a visual of what the clinic actually looks like. So with that, any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'd be glad to speak to you about it. And thank you for your attention and the opportunity to come and share with you.
So I'm JP Ducro. I will be brief. My role with the RAM Clinic has been lodging and hospitality. I'll touch on one other thing with fundraising. $100 donations will go on a signage there at the RAM Clinic. So we had a lot of very smaller donations, and those are certainly welcome as well at any level. One of the things that has really been great about this clinic is the number of in-kind donations. We've had people that have donated tables and chairs. We've had people that have donated their homes, their bed and breakfast, their hotel spaces. Lodging is a big part of this. We have over 30 RAM Corps people that we're going to need to house for 3 to 4 days. And then we have lots of people coming from medical schools, dental schools, vision schools that are going to come in. A lot of them are students, and obviously it's going to be hard for them to afford a hotel room for 3 and 4 days. So if anybody knows of someone who would like to offer a space for primarily Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, please reach out to me, or you can go through the Ram Ashtabula site, and Christy can forward those inquiries or offers to me. But we have had a tremendous outpouring. I put one post up on social media, and I've had as many as 30 to 40 different people respond and feedback. So it's really heartwarming to me to see the number of people opening up their homes and being so generous to help provide the lodging necessary to get these people in and make it easy. They're already volunteering their time, their travel expenses to come and give back to our community, and so it really makes us feel good when we can say, we will make sure to take care of your lodging. Hospitality side of things, the one thing that we have committed to is making sure that the volunteers that are there from 5 o'clock in the morning till sometimes 6, 7 o'clock at night, are fed 3 meals. So we've got a breakfast that's starting at 5:30, we've got a lunch that's starting about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we've got dinner that's starting at 4 o'clock. And we have as many as 300 to 400 volunteers a day that we're feeding. So if you'd like to help and provide a meal for any of the volunteers, please let me know that as well. Right now we have a commitment for food for every day. So we're not in desperate need of food, but if somebody would like to help with the food, we'll just contact the people that have offered to help that day and let them scale back. Instead of maybe having to provide 300 meals, maybe it could split and 2 different organizations could provide 150 meals, and that will reduce the burden on anybody who is trying to do this, because that's a lot of people to feed. So any questions on that, you can go through Christy at the RAM email, and she can get it to me, and we appreciate your listening to us today and the generosity of our community. It was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life to participate in this clinic, so thank you.
Good morning, I'm Tina Staszewski, for those of you who don't know me. I'm going to take this opportunity to brag about Ashtabula County with RAM in particular. You've heard from previous speakers, we were the first RAM clinic in the state of Ohio. That in itself is a major accomplishment. But what this leadership team did was work with our state representative to change legislation that will make an impact across the entire state. So in a nutshell, Ohio was what was called a closed medical state. That meant licensed healthcare professionals from any other state in the United States could not come to the RAM clinic and volunteer with us unless they paid to get a temporary Ohio license. That is now changed. The borders are open. If you are licensed in Pennsylvania or West Virginia or New York or Tennessee, you can now come and help our community. It was thanks to JP and Dr. Herpin, who had been able to volunteer at a clinic in Charleston, correct? That we even became aware that some other states had made that legislation change. So the fact that they were able to go to a clinic, experience it, hear what other states had done, set the stage for us to be able to reach out to Representative Patterson, who then took this and ran with it. Found a co-sponsor in the House. There were 3 of us that were able to go down and provide testimony as to what this would mean to our community. And the legislation process is slow, so we didn't have it for last year's clinic, but we have it for this year, which means we will be able to serve even more people, and that's a tremendous, tremendous benefit to the RAM clinic. Working with RAM is probably the only way we could have accomplished what we did. The years of experience that they have, and it is a military operation. It is precise. They know exactly what needs to be done, how to set things up, and they were our guide through this whole thing. As Dr. Deborah said, many changes to the way the clinic RAM does things happen because of what we suggested. So not only are we making an impact on the people here, but our suggestions will reach out across the country in future RAM clinics. There are 2 other RAM clinics planned for the state of Ohio. thanks to us having experienced it. One will be in Dayton. That one, I believe, is scheduled for November. And there will be one in Youngstown in September. So Ashtabula County, give ourselves a hand for once again leading the way. And as JP said, I will just give a personal testimony. This definitely was the most rewarding and worthwhile thing that I have ever been involved with. So thank you.
A big thank you this morning to our speakers and this just incredibly worthwhile endeavor. And as they've stated several times, there's no shortage of ways to reach out to RAM and to communicate with the team in any way, shape, or form. And our job really is to kind of continue spreading this message and to continue sharing what's available and how this is coming back to Ashtabula County and how people can volunteer and how people can receive these services. And it's really part of the bigger picture of how Ashtabula is impacted by and leverages regional, statewide, national resources to really help grow our community. So thank you all very much for your foresight, your advocacy, and your leadership. So it's absolutely phenomenal. So as we continue on with our Profiles Breakfast series, I'd like to say thank you to Kent State University at Ashtabula, the Growth Partnership for Ashtabula County, Gazette Newspapers, and Leadership Ashtabula County for the continued sponsorship of the series. Next month, our speaker will be Dr. Philip Wang from Kent State University, and the topic is Zen and the Art of Hospitality. So a little bit different, but it really is focusing on the ever-growing tourism industry and bringing a lot of research and a lot of important information that we all need to hear because tourism here in Ashtabula County is so central to our economy and continues to grow. So thank you all and have a wonderful day.